Oh, that's right. You heard the man. This is the Twisted Cupid podcast. We're going to take ridiculous dating questions every Thursday night. Yes. You heard the man. This is the Twisted Cupid podcast. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening on an audio-only platform, we still appreciate you. But we would appreciate you slightly more if you liked and subscribed on YouTube and then listened live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're taking questions from not only the wild animals on Reddit, but you guys in the chat. Give us your comments. Give us your questions.
How wild do you want to be? That's what our question is. You know,
there
we
go.
Be just as wild as them.
That's right. You could go completely nuts. You could make Reddit look like a Mormon daycare center. You could go crazy. But with me as always, my amazing co-host, the one, the only Amy Liszka. How's it going, Amy?
Good. I'm looking at myself in the camera. First of all, I also snotted and sniffed it right into the microphone right as we were starting. So
nice.
Sorry if you heard that. Also, I'm looking at myself pregnant and like I'm at. Literally, I have 3 more months to go, but I'm literally the size as if I could give birth right now.
Yeah.
And I have like these chicken arms and this big, like, I look like a cartoon. I don't know what to. How do you look?
I will say, I think it's this camera with the wide angle sitting on the ends definitely does suck. Like, I got the same thing going on, and there's not a baby inside of me. There's just
I think I have a little bit more going on. Not to compare, but all I'm saying is that Oh, what was I saying?
3 more months.
3 more months. 3 more months.
Look great, okay?
I don't know.
But here's the thing: the camera adds an extra 2 months, so they say that.
I need 2 more months.
Yeah,
I don't have.
The camera added 2 more months to me. I ain't even pregnant. So that's how much they do. That's how they do with these cameras.
I know what I want to say. Those people out there are people that say that they feel sexy when they're pregnant. I'm like, who are these people?
That.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
It's a niche fetish for sure.
Do you like feeling like you have a bowling ball in your pelvis while you're just getting it on? Yeah.
Yeah. There's some women are really into it. Some guys are really into it. Some non-binary folks. It's a niche market for sure. But there's people that are into the pregnancy thing.
Joanne just said snot and sniff. I used to always sneeze for pregnant.
See, look at that. You could have been sneezing and farting. You just sniffed a little bit.
Sneezing. That's.
Well, I kind of did the whole like sniff my snot back up in my nose. You know
that's good. Well, I didn't notice, but I'm gonna have to go back and listen in slow motion replay. Anyway. Amy's doing good. She's sniffing. She's snotting. All that good stuff. Let's talk to our 2 awesome guests, man. Yeah. We have 2 first-time guests to the show.
Yeah, we're popping their cherries.
That's
both
right.
Of them.
Yeah. That's right. First up, he's a hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only, Micah Walsh. Thank you for being on the show.
That's right. There's only one of me.
That's right. That's right. There's only one and only of him.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Likewise. Tell them where they can find you.
At Micah_Walsh. We're doing the plugs right now. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I have a podcast. But it's different. It's different. I have a podcast called.
It'd be weird if you had this exact thing coincidentally.
Yeah. I'm like,
it just didn't get discussed before now.
I'm recording this. I'm going to re-release this on my own channel.
Actually, you know what? Feel free. I think more podcasts should do that, honestly.
What?
Yeah.
Be on each other's shows and then release on their own stream and stuff.
Exactly.
That's good cross-promotion.
Yeah. Like Joe Rogan needs to come onto our podcast.
That's right.
Yeah, that would
Where
do
you
some
at,
numbers
Joe?
for both of you.
Come on, man. I'll inject myself with whatever the fuck you want. Get on this podcast.
No.
I can't believe you guys are asking for plugs. This or...
Plug it up.
And
plug it up, man.
But I'm like,
what, are you not ready
riff
for
is
the
getting...
plug?
No, of course
right.
I am. But the riff is getting away from me. You guys are taking this energy and running
Plug
with
it like
I
a
didn't even
hole
get
in
the name
a
of the
levee during a
podcast
rainstorm.
out. It's called I'll Grieve You With This. That's
I'll Grieve You With
thing.
This.
Yeah, listen
Bam.
to it. It's That's all I'll say.
Like grieve, like I'm sad?
Yeah. Well, what's the other form of grieve?
Oh, I didn't know if I was hearing the word right.
There's, I believe pants for chainmail are called greaves.
Is it really?
Yes.
Well, that's a different podcast.
Some kind of armor. Yeah, it'd be weird if it was just a blacksmithing podcast in 2024.
Yeah. It's mostly sounds of just metal smashing.
Ching. I'm making a cod piece.
No, not just make the whole intro is about my thing, but it's about grief. I interview comedians about like their dead parents and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Big
Sounds very
get
deep.
for me. I had Kelly Carlin on a couple months ago. George Carlin's daughter.
Oh, no
my
shit.
God.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's that'll be my bio for the rest of my life.
I want to listen. No, I want to listen to that. That's awesome.
I don't know if it came up, but she's got a dead dad, I heard.
Wait,
She does, actually.
Here we go.
It did come up in
How
conversation.
many-
He's famous.
Yeah.
And there's
I've heard of
7
that guy.
words that he just can't stop talking about.
So is it every episode you guys cry during it?
Nobody's.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have gotten close to it, but we definitely don't. We don't have a video aspect.
Are you
like
wait? Are
guys
you
do.
kidding me? No one's cried on your podcast?
Nobody's physically cried, but I've
Yeah.
handed them tissues before. Also, we do it through Zoom sometimes. So sometimes people are like, "Oh, the connection's breaking up. I gotta go."
There we
and you're
go.
like, "Oh," they come back a little teary-eyed.
Nice,
But no, I
nice.
mean we keep it lighthearted.
That's cool.
But yeah,
People, do you want to laugh? Do you want to cry? Go check out Micah Walsh's podcast.
I'll grieve
man.
you with
Follow.
this.
I'll grieve you with this.
All right.
I love
I'll
it.
do
I
that.
love
Plug
that
over.
name.
And also follow our second guest, another first-time guest of the podcast, another hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only Dani Riedel. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
We
Yeah.
thank you for being here. Tell them where they can find you.
Wow, I'm like, yeah, plugs already. Let's go.
Plug it up, man.
So Instagram at Dani Riedel Comedy,
There we go.
DaniRiedel Comedy. I also help co-produce a show called Chopped Cheese Comedy on the Upper West Side.
Oh, there we go.
163 West 72nd Street
Chopped
on
Cheese.
Friday night. Chopped Cheese. So Instagram, that's Chopped Cheese. CHOPT cheese
Why'd you
comedy.
guys just decide to call it chopped cheese?
I just came aboard actually. Lee Paul is the main producer, and
Okay.
he came up with the name. But it's actually it's a show run by all alcoholic comedians.
Oh, there we go.
Love it.
And we it's a deli. It's a halal deli with a
Oh, really?
performance space upstairs
That's
that
fun.
looks exactly like a comedy club. I mean, it looks like a like a dark seedy comedy club, but it's the upstairs of a deli. But there's no alcohol, so there's no drink minimum. You can buy like a soda and a bag of chips and watch
There
a
we
comedy
go.
show for $15. It's been written up in the West Side Rag and the New York Post. And we get some really hot comics on
Nice.
there. So
Nice.
you can catch me there every Friday night.
it out.
Also catch
Every
me
Friday?
at the Grizzly Pear most nights, a lot of other nights during the week, and
I love
here,
it.
there, and everywhere. I'm going to be headlining the comedy show at the Galactic D&I Star Trek convention in Philadelphia next month for
Oh, nice.
any nerds out there.
You're headlining a comedy show at a Star Trek convention.
That's my niche.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my weird niche. Yeah.
That's cool.
is
There
Star
was
Trek.
there. I'm from Iowa City, Iowa, which is just north of a town called Riverside, Iowa, and they have a massive Star Trek convention there every year because apparently in the show, William Shatner's character, Captain Kirk, right? Captain
Yep.
Kirk. That's where he's.
you're walking back this anecdote. Star Trek, whatever.
Dude,
his
well,
name
no, I
is.
don't know the show that well.
Mr. Kirk.
Yeah, yeah. Captain K, as I call him. But no, his character was apparently from Riverside, Iowa, in the show, and so the town makes a huge deal of it. It's just this tiny little town in Iowa, but they
awesome.
do like a whole fucking Star Trek. It's like a 3-day event, man.
I feel like they have to do that for places that would otherwise just like suck too much to bother existing. Like take a really badass Star Trek character. Oh, bless you.
Yes.
The doggy sneezed. You're contagious, Amy.
I know.
Like Commander William Riker, now Captain William Riker, is from Alaska.
Right.
Like, he's the sexiest, most badass fictional character in the freaking world, and he's from Alaska.
Right,
Like,
Kirk's from Iowa.
and Kirk's from
specifically.
Iowa.
A specific
Yeah.
small town in Iowa.
The first warp drive was in Bozeman, Montana. Like, what?
Right.
Joel says from the chat, he says, I thought Shatner was a Captain Crunch. Who was Captain Crunch? He also
I mean,
said,
maybe in the mirror universe. So.
he also said, hey, Micah doesn't know what he's missing. Jake usually cries at least once an episode. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
All right. That's the big closer, right?
That's right. That's right.
You do the plugs
I weep.
first,
That's
the
right.
weeping at the end.
It's the whole thing. I try to do plugs at the end, but I'm just like I got that going on, and so I can't get through them. But speaking of getting through them, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Matt on YouTube, to Joanne on YouTube, to Joel on YouTube. For right now, you guys ready to take your first question from the wild animals on Reddit?
The wild animals.
bring it
on
on.
All right,
Reddit.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Bring
I was
it on,
assuming you were
Reddit.
getting these from 4chan, but
Actually,
Not
no,
that kind of show.
I have gotten some from 4chan, but 4chan just has a general advice section, so it's just all advice about everything, and you really gotta sift through to get actual dating advice, you know,
Sure.
or anything that can go under a loose umbrella of dating. You know, a lot of it is a should I finally unload on my classroom tomorrow?
Yeah,
you know,
4chan,
it's 4chan, like it's
That's
goofy
the last
shit.
stop on a lot of manifest,
Oh yeah. A lot of people will be like manifesto shaming people, like you're not really gonna shoot anything up, are you? This is a sorry ass manifesto. Yeah.
Where are we that that's even a thing? Wow.
Bro, this one is weak. This manifesto is weak. Your shit is hack, bro. This is like a KC shooter. Your shit is hack. Sounds just like him. Anyway, let's take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit. If you guys have questions to write them to twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, put them right there in the chat for us. We are live on YouTube every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's take our first one from the wild animals on Reddit.
So the theme
boy.
this week, so I try to pick a theme with all the questions. The theme this week is that's not cool, because it was kind of like everything that I was reading is like, that kind of sucks, but is it worth, like, you know, leaving someone or breaking up or ending it? But it's just, you know, you'll see. So the first one is, boyfriend sent me recycled nudes.
Oh, come on now. That's just lazy.
Lazy.
It's lazy to get. Never mind. I take it back. It's not lazy to do it. It's lazy to get caught. You shouldn't get caught doing it.
I mean, it's like re-gifting.
It is.
Honestly, like.
Everybody,
I feel like we don't even
I like
read
it.
the question. I really don't.
But I'm like, how are you even getting caught doing it? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, what are you taking dick pics next to a copy of today's newspaper? How are you getting caught re-gifting? What's she going to her friend like, it's the same toothbrush next to it. I got that same one from him.
I'm wondering,
that vein
honestly,
was
I'm
there
wondering,
last time.
I'm wondering if I should even read it, because that's basically what happened.
Never mind.
He just
Okay, I'm sorry. I interrupted you before the question.
Just put
No,
in some effort.
But
Put in
that's
some effort.
all you're gonna hear. Okay, so basically, boyfriend sent me recycled nudes. I, a 29-year-old female, have been with my boyfriend, a 31-year-old male, for 4 months now, and we are temporarily doing long distance for 4 more months until we can live in the same city together.
Aww.
I have met him in person multiple times, and we have known each other for years. When we first got together, he asked me if I would like to exchange naked pictures with him. I told him that I had not done that in 10 years. I was very nervous and unsure about it and needed more time to feel comfortable in our relationship. Enough. That means she did it at 18, you guys. Ooh, okay.
Real quick, in the comments it says you're muted.
I'm muted?
No. I'm reading the comments, and they said they can't hear the question.
They can't hear the
Shout
question.
out to Matt.
That's
I'm
so
reading
weird.
the comments right now.
Joel,
right?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the levels. You got levels. I can hear you. And
Wait, hold on.
Here.
I mean, perhaps Matt is trolling us. Perhaps.
Matt does do that.
Matt, can you hear me?
Wait, what did Joel just say?
Because Joel says Micah's room audio only. I want to make sure.
Joel's very honest. Matt is like, Matt, we love you, but I know you troll us.
Oh shit! Music is room audio only.
Music is room audio.
No, that's in the ear. Unless are the mics room audio?
Okay.
only?
You know what? I misread music
No,
as
that's
Micah.
codec.
I
That's
thought
codec.
that was me.
Matt, you're the man.
All
All right, sorry. Listen, sorry to
that-
interrupt, but
no, the
it also
music's
said
in
that
all-
you can't
in our
hear the
ear.
question,
Look,
correct?
Matt, you're the man, and that means that he saved the podcast.
Woo!
Okay, thank
Wait,
you, man. Thank you for saving the podcast. We
But
got our
also,
audio
Gene has
fixed.
just interjected. I hear everything. It's
Oh,
Matt's
Joanne.
phone.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, Matt, come on, man.
Yeah, dude, you got to upgrade.
Oh,
Got to
wait,
upgrade.
Wait. Let's see. Joel said it also. Okay.
Oh, weird.
Mics are
mics
fine.
are fine.
This is cool.
All right.
This is a little peek behind the scenes.
Yeah. Now we get to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right, I'm
All
just
right.
going to start over because
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
please.
go
for
ahead.
those
Sorry,
who
that
didn't
was
hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
I, a 29-year-old female, have been with my boyfriend, a 31-year-old male, for 4 months now, and we are temporarily doing long distance for 4 more months until we can live together in the same city. I have met him in person multiple times, and we have known each other for years. When we first got together, he asked me if I would like to exchange naked pictures with him. I told him that I had not done that in 10 years. I was very nervous and unsure about it, and I needed more time to feel comfortable in our relationship, enough to take sexy pictures for him. He was very respectful, understanding, and did not push me at all. Finally, I decided on my own that I would surprise him with a few. I've sent him a total of 9 pictures to him, and he has sent me 2.
Wow.
When he sent me
That's
his
a barrage, dude. For the first round.
Yeah, 9's crazy.
That's
wild,
wild,
like,
dude.
That's like a zip drive.
Why
You
not?
don't start. You don't 9.
Why not go up to an even 10 at that
We
point?
just talked about how much pressure she felt, and then she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you know what? Here's the whole." Here's the
Dude, now
first
he's
9.
expecting a video on the next one. You're
Yes.
just setting his expectations too
She
high.
should have. All right, sorry.
When he sent me his recent picture, I saved it in on my camera roll so I could enjoy it whenever I wanted to. However, I noticed that when the picture was not recent and was a little screenshot, was a screenshot, I went back to the older photo and saw that this one was too, not taken recently, and also a screenshot. Now, I know that he has a past, and it would be stupid to deny that, but I feel like I was very vulnerable for him and went out of my comfort zone because I felt he was trustworthy and I wanted to keep things with him exciting. I personally feel a little duped and disrespected because he sent me pictures of a boner that someone else gave him.
Oh God!
When I'm spending time and putting forth effort to give him something special
I
for
hope-
just him, I also feel like he thinks I'm stupid that I wouldn't notice. Am I overreacting by feeling hurt and bothered? I'm not angry, but just wondering why he can't put forth some effort for me that I did for him. To my part of the fun and allure of nudes is that they're in the moment in between two people, and this feels rather one-sided.
Hang on. Hang on. They were in a long distance relationship, right?
Yeah.
For 4 months.
And they have 4
Ooh.
more months to go.
And they're in their late 20s, early 30s. These are
Yeah.
young adults,
Yeah.
but they're not young. These are fucking grown ass. Can I curse?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
no,
especially-
podcast,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. No, curse away. Curse away.
Okay.
YouTube
It's
just crashes.
frustrating because these
Like-
people are in their 30s and acting young.
Yeah,
it's weird.
These are grown ass fucking adults.
Yeah.
Why haven't you seen each other naked yet? Also,
It's
it's
odd.
2024. Why aren't
No,
you?
they have. They have.
No, but like in. Oh,
No,
but
they have seen
met
each other
in person.
Yeah. So they
they
have
haven't
met
exchanged
multiple
nudes?
times, and they've also they've met many times, and they've known each other for years. They're just right now in two different spots.
So first of all, when I assumed it was nudes and he was sending old ones, I thought it was like, oh, maybe he's gained some weight, he feels insecure.
That's what I
But now I'm
thought.
finding out it's just a dick pic. And I'm like, how
Yeah.
did you realize? Like, was there like a Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders 2016 sticker behind it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What was
Like-
the timestamp where you were like, this couldn't be? Well, no, she saw it in the thing. But,
Yeah.
but also,
so
like,
if
that's
you
really
send someone a
bizarre.
picture, they can tell when you took it, like
Yeah.
on their phone.
Yeah, unless-
Jake is just
especially if
realizing
it's an
how
iPhone.
technology works.
It'll
Dude, I'm
have
wondering if I ever got caught doing this back in the day.
Probably.
That's
This
why
is
you gotta
crazy,
take
dude.
screenshots,
You
but she
don't-
somehow knew it was a screenshot.
How does she? But that was my other thing. Is that's how I would get around
Everything's
it. This is a screenshot.
Everything's timestamped.
I
So
just
Oh,
don't fucking get
Jesus.
if
you have
What
to
it-
take off the timestamp if you're going to do something stupid like that.
What does she work at
Totally,
the FBI?
totally.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But also, it's weird that she was like, I'm 29 and he's 31. That's like the most insignificant age gap. I thought there was going to be something more to it, but
I will say it is helpful knowing their ages because if one person is doing something really
that's true.
kind of immature or whatever, you're like, yeah, but he's 23, so like, who gives a shit?
That's
Give
a
him
good
pass.
point.
The ages are. It's wild how much you want to know the ages when they don't give them to you. You're like, this
That's
would
true.
change everything.
I mean, I'm glad we have that context. But also, like, 4 months in, you're sending like, you should just know what each other's
You
bodies
guys,
look
That's
like
what I'm
by
saying.
now.
Why are you just now sending nudes?
Well-
it's like I've always thought like you shouldn't get married before you live together. Like,
Sure.
Well,
like,
that's
like
true.
you know, test it out. I mean,
And you're saying you shouldn't.
they're planning to move
Presumably,
to the
they've
same.
already fucked, and now
That's
he's
what
sending
yeah.
like throwback dick pics. That's so.
Yeah, like, and have they
Weird.
It's a
fucked?
tough
That's
one
what
to
I
get
want to
caught
know.
up.
It says they met, but I want to know if they've fucked.
Yeah, have they fucked?
Well,
Have they fucked?
she hasn't
they
said
even-
it, but they said, but she made it very clear that they have met in person multiple times and have known each other for years.
But if they fucked,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
have
think
they
that would have been
seen-
in there. You're right. I think that
that
would have
makes
been in
a
there.
big difference to me.
I think that would have been in there. Known each other for years is different than dating each other for years. I think they were like friends,
Oh,
coworkers,
yeah.
something like that.
Also, that's fucking
Yeah.
weird
I
to be
feel like-
pressuring your friend to send you, if you're not already fucking, to just be like, hey, I know we've known each other. Could you send me some pictures?
No, I think if
But
they're
you're
doing
planning
long
to-
distance, they've had have already fucked.
Or at least
You
had
would
like
think,
video
but-
chat sex.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird
the
that they don't
thing.
start with video chat sex if they've already been hooking
there's
up.
even toys for that. Like they can even remote
You
control like
guys,
long
the whole
distance. There's so
point-
much they could be
The
doing.
whole thing that
With,
she's
like, a
mad
video game?
about is that she actually
they are kind of like
Really?
that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
you
they're
guys,
pretty cool.
the whole point that she's mad about is that she was just like, I put all this effort into mine, and I'm noticing he put zero effort into his.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, it's just gonna get worse if he's not gonna put any effort into his dick pics. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't think he's gonna put effort into your birthday
Right.
or like remember the anniversary of
Yeah.
something or like he's just forget about even doing the
Yeah.
dishes. He's just gonna be like, what mess? Like that's what
We're just
you're
doing
going.
styrofoam plates from
Is
now
it
on.
even his dick?
Yeah, that's
Is
a
it
good
even
point.
his dick?
That's a good
I don't
point.
think this is his dick.
If they haven't slept together, it might not be.
I love
That-
that.
this is not-
This is just probably the best dick pic he's ever taken. Like I
Yeah.
understand people on Tinder when they're like, "Oh, this is my picture from 5 years ago at a wedding. I was looking great." But the fact that he's like, he's just like looking back wistfully at his like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
my dick really could fucking."
I think
My
Throw
dick
a
looks like
football
I
he
back
needs to
there.
ask for one with a background,
Yeah.
kind of like. Don't some dating sites do? They make you hold up a
Right.
sign with your username that's like handwritten. Like she needs to ask him to like
Yeah.
take a dick pic with like a
a copy of the
Yeah.
newspaper.
a
from
copy of
today.
the
Yeah, yeah,
newspaper,
yeah.
or
So you have a time.
better yet, with
I
his
gotta-
freaking face in it. If
Yeah.
you've known
yeah, there
each
you
other
go.
for years, you can. I don't know. Just, just,
No,
dude, just take a dick pic with your face in it. What's she gonna do with it? You know.
Oh no, she wants a fresh dick pic. I got to get my dick in fighting shape again.
Like, oh,
Look at my dick in
no.
this one. It looked like I hadn't eaten carbs in a year.
This woman I want to live in the same city as, who I've known for years. I can't share my genitals. Get
Right,
the fuck
yeah.
But
out,
also,
dude.
why did she go from "I don't want to do this" to "All right, I guess I'll send 9"?
Yeah, it's a pretty wild
That's
amount to
so
go right off the
bizarre.
bat.
And
Yeah.
I am not like not to sound like a prude, but I don't really exchange a lot of photos. But 9 seems like a fucking pretty heavy entry point number.
Well, right, because then it's like, well, okay, then he sends some. Do you then send 0 and wait till he sends you 9?
Or you're like, hey,
or do
man,
you
you
just
have
do
7
9
more
9
you owe
9?
me.
Yeah. And so you sent you 3 dick pics and you sent him 27 nudes. That's crazy.
yeah.
You can't do 9
Especially
at a
on
time.
Pie Day of all days.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time
Joel
for
said-
our friends.
Joel
Appreciate
said,
that.
if he's sending recycled pics, she better enjoy the self-achieved orgasm. He won't put it in the time. No, he's not. He's
No.
not.
Even
Yeah.
if he asks you to marry him, he's not getting down on one knee. He's just doing like a catcher stance. You know, he's just kind of squatting down a bit, pulling the ring out. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh. I maintain that not his dick.
What if he proposed, he got down on one knee, and he pulled out a small picture of his dick? It was the same one from way back then. He goes, after all these years.
I want you to know the truth.
Yeah.
I guess this question could go either way because I
He
believe
pulls the box open and it's just a receipt for a ring. He's like, it's going to be in the ring store. Like the guy's just got to finish sizing it and putting some of the stones
No,
in.
I feel like this question could go either way because I believe they have slept together and they're doing long distance until they get together. And I think this guy's just really lazy. And if you think it's going to get better, it's not. All right. He's 31.
Yeah.
This is already.
Right.
And honestly, in the four months, okay, I feel like, especially within that year, you don't even know who your partner is because all that partner's doing is trying to lie and make them feel like they're the best person in the world. Like, if this is his starting game, like it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, for the first 6 months, you're not even dating a human being. You're dating a living, breathing Tinder profile.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right,
You're just-
And if it is his dick, then yeah, then he's just fucking lazy.
Yeah, it
And
sounds
then-
like
yeah,
lazy
it's gonna-
man work.
That is going to transfer to other things. Like, dude, you can't. Who doesn't have the time to take a fresh dick pic?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to do anything. Like, if I had a dick, I would have the time to take a fresh fucking dick pic.
I like to think that timing is the only reason that he hasn't updated. He's like, I've
Right.
been so busy the last couple of years. You know, I can't find a spare moment with a bathroom.
That's crazy, man.
It has
Yeah.
nothing at all to do with my insecurity about my dick and how it looks now.
You have
Now
no
that it's old.
idea how busy my job at Budget Rent-A-Car is.
Right.
No
Oh,
time
God.
for dick pics, lady. No time
He
for dick
takes time
pics.
off work and he's like, I'm going to do that photo shoot. I'm finally get all those updated dick pics.
I used a sick day to take this dick pic, and I still didn't get around to it.
Right.
I had so much laundry to do.
I just wonder if they have slept together, then what is her hang up on sending the pictures too? So there's a problem on both sides here. There is some kind of lack of connection here.
Sure. Sure.
I feel like if you're with the right person, you should just want them to see you naked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you know what? The thing is, this question's unfair because the question should have started with, I already confronted him. This is how the argument went. You know, because I don't feel like we don't know enough.
I think we don't have enough information.
Yeah.
Well,
for one thing, she's not clear on if they slept together or not. I mean, that to me is a huge piece of this puzzle.
One.
It's a huge piece.
Yeah.
You read the question before. Do you think they slept together?
I think they did, but I mean, who knows? Because there is no evidence. She didn't say anything.
Right, she did.
I didn't even think about that until you said it. I'm the type of person, if I'm going to do long distance with you, I better be getting really, really, really good sex for me to be like, all right,
really
I'm not going
good
to sleep
video
with anyone
chat
else,
sex.
or I'm gonna at least gonna call you like somewhere in another state or country the sex is so good, I have to somehow like wait or appease this person in another like time zone.
Right. Ain't nobody doing. Yeah, no one's doing long distance if every time you do it you're so drunk that you gotta like squeeze it from the bottom because it's like a half chub. So now you're trying to get half a dick's worth of blood into the top half of the dick to get it. You're like squeezing it in like a tube sock.
Yeah.
It's always embarrassing when you can't get hard over video sex. You're like, is it in yet? No, I know it's not nearly hard enough.
I can tell it's only a half chub from 17 area codes away. What are you doing?
But let this be a lesson for the future. Fucking let them send the dick pics first, then figure out whether or not they're old before you send 9 pictures. Because I get the feeling that she sent first and was like, hey, let me get a little...
he asked for one.
Right.
She was like, no.
Of course he asked for one. Like, sorry, like in no world is the woman being like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Could you send me a couple? Well, maybe in some world, but not between these two. It seems like he was like, hey, I've earned your trust. Yeah. Enough time has passed. Give me something to...
the one thing that did come up was that he's probably just also messing around on her too while he's waiting for her. Because I feel like if he has dick pics ready to go to send to whoever...
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
He's just got a special folder on his phone. He's like, you want what now? Doop, 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 doop.
Yeah.
Yep, this was a good one. Kept it for this purpose. That's the dick headshot.
Yep. Had the lighting, had the angle.
Yeah.
Everything was right that day.
Now that I put it that way, I'm not saying he isn't lazy. I'm just saying maybe that's not a bad idea to have like a dick headshot.
It's not a bad idea.
Have a good one ready to go. I mean, be prepared to update.
Be prepared
with
to
the
called
newspaper, but
like something the bookers can put on the website.
Right. I mean, or the sex toy app or whatever. Yeah. But not a bad idea.
I had to be dating for a long time before I got rid of my second headshot.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
but they've known each other for years.
I still had hair in my first headshot. My first dick headshot. Now it's just bald.
Mine was up in the men's room at Dangerfields.
Sure.
That's right. It's Rodney's now.
No, but after 4 months of like being boyfriend and girlfriend and knowing each other for years, like, no, honey, you deserve better than the dick headshot. You need something more personal than that.
Yeah. Yeah,
and also, you guys should just be having sex.
Or at least have video sex. Until you meet in person, for fuck's sake, please, have video sex. It's so easy. It's great. It's easy, and it's fun. Just,
And also, DM me on the side. I'll help out.
Watch, she's going to have video sex with this guy, and it's just going to be...
I wouldn't have video sex with this guy.
Yeah, clearly his dick has seen its best years.
He would just be playing me recycled clips. Like
his dick's on the farewell tour.
Yeah.
Is this AI? Is he whacking off in front of a green screen? This isn't even him.
Yeah, it'd be just one of those like found footage episodes of a sitcom. Like, no.
This is his head on a pixelated body. This isn't him. This is crazy.
I don't know. I think we answered that. Is there anything in the chat?
Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, if he's sending recycled pics, she better enjoy... Oh, fuck. We already read that.
Gold Rangers.
Matt says...
watching a different show?
It's our... Oh, yeah. Sometimes Matt gives hockey scores.
Yeah, sure. No, I assume. I assume.
Go Rangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, cool. Shout out to the Rangers.
All right. Sure.
Let's see.
Not that into baseball, but okay.
But yeah, Matt says female orgasms and keg stands are not the same thing. Yeah, I guess not.
I mean, they're not. It's important to note that they're not mutually exclusive.
I did see a woman have an orgasm during a cake stand in college once, but that was it. There was a lot going on that day. A lot going on. Yeah. She joined the convent the next day. She was done with that
college?
lifestyle.
Gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Hey Matt, some people call female orgasms. They just call them orgasms. They kind of go both ways.
Overcompensating much?
Sometimes I'm like, I had a male orgasm today, so I was jerking off earlier. But you know how it was.
All right.
Sometimes they don't feel male or female. They're on a spectrum.
It doesn't feel fair that you couldn't really say I had a female orgasm, but it's perfectly fine for me to say I busted a nut.
Yeah, well, that's
rubbed one out.
That's true. That's true.
A step towards equality. I'm sure someday you can just be more explicit about your disgusting bodies.
I say do it, man. Nut through the glass ceiling.
Sorry.
All right, I'm ready for the next question.
All right. Next question on the Twisted Cupid podcast. If you guys have questions, write them to twistedcupidpodcast@gmail.com, or even better, put them right there in the chat every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That is when we are live on YouTube. We're going to take our next one from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
All right. I'm threatening to quit my job because my wife just randomly quit hers. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, my God.
Are you guys thinking about following suit?
We only have half the amount of income in this household? I don't think so, sister. We got zero. I'm playing Russian roulette with 3 bullets in the gun like Robert De Niro and D. Hunter. Diddy Mouse, honey, Diddy Mouse.
Hey, soon, 4 bullets on the way.
That's right.
Wow.
Sorry, too soon? Congratulations, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right. So I'm a 35-year-old male, and my wife is a 33-year-old female. She just inherited a large chunk of her late father's sizable estate. She made it very clear that the money she inherited was supposed to go to her dad's bloodline, also known as her and our children, and I'm not entitled to a cent of it. We live in North Dakota, and I make $52K a year doing a property management job I hate. And it gets old driving around dealing with tenants who take their frustration out on me because my boss decided to cut corners. Sorry.
A lot of subtext in this.
I'm the middleman for a
paragraph.
I'm the middleman for a slumlord, and these people are real jerks about it. Well, I smell gas. What do I look like, a magician?
We're going to get a lot of detail in this question.
Oh, boy.
My wife worked as an accountant, payable clerks making $32K. She hated her job because there was no growth, and it was boring. But she held up the job to show her dad that she was responsible. Her dad died, and now she inherited a 5-bedroom, mortgage-free house in another state. In another state, it is in one of the most college areas near a private school where all the students come in from the East Coast private school. She rents that out.
A lot of slumlords in college towns.
She rented it
right
out
for the picking.
She rented out the house by bedroom to students and gets $6,000 a month, and it's all said and done. The rest of her inheritance is locked in a trust and pays out $15K a month, living in North Dakota. The approximately $252,000 she gets more.
$15K a month in North Dakota is like $1 million in New York.
That's like $1 million in New York.
So $252,000 she gets is
what is
more
she,
than
the daughter
enough
from
to
Yellowstone?
live well.
This is crazy.
God,
Wait, can we pause this for 1 second? He clearly hates his wife, right?
Oh, yeah.
She clearly
he's
hates him.
None of this is like, what a windfall for our family.
More than the tenants that complain for the management boss that cuts the corners.
Oh, God.
Yeah, if me and my wife got
Yeah.
$15,000 a month for doing nothing but being jizzed out of some dude's balls, we'd be high-fiving each other. We would go, no, this is $15,000 more we have to fight about. This is crazy.
Right. And he's not once has he been like, my kids or my wife. He's just been like, let me tell you about the assets of my fucking father-in-law who just died.
No, but seriously,
this guy?
fucking bitch, like, you're married. Just don't be fucking greedy. Just, what? That's more money. And also, leave North Dakota. Why are you still in North Dakota?
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe that's one of the clauses of the inheritance. Like,
I mean, that'd be
not.
horrible. You know what? I would turn it down.
That'd be like the plot of a great
If that
90s
was a
movie.
condition, $15,000 a month, but I had to live in North Dakota, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
All right.
I'm out.
However, I feel my wife has been unfair with how she's handled the money. Right away, she rented herself a BMW, and then she
she did.
decided that she was done cooking and would order out every day. The problem is,
This
as
guy
I
sucks.
have high cholesterol, and a lot of the foods are good for me. And the foods that are good for me, she never leaves enough real leftovers. Sorry. I just couldn't. There's a lot of times I read these questions, and I will take out the details, but I just couldn't because I.
Oh
it's
my
too cute.
God!
All right, I
She
can
ate all my
stomach.
sashimi and only left me with Big Macs
Yeah.
again.
Right.
I can
Women.
stomach the fact that her inheritance is hers, but it does hurt that I've never resisted picking up the financial burden when I earn more, but she hoards all her new money. She puts her inheritance and and rent income all into accounts under her name, and meanwhile, our day job income kept going into joint bank accounts. Whew, okay. That would make sense, but then she quits her job out of the blue last week. She said she looked at her boss, and sorry, I'm laughing because she actually gave the age of her boss. He's a 50-year-old. She's a 50-year-old female, which I thought was funny. Never mind.
Sure.
Okay, so she actually looks at her boss, and that she was not cut out for this work until she was old like her. She wants to pursue her passion of photography, but doesn't want to earn money from it. So she quit. But the problem is that she quit because she gets $250K plus, basically effort free. I don't benefit from that, but that still has to pay for the mortgage, but other households.
Dude, Bernie
expenses
Sanders
and-
is screaming in my head right now. The estate tax should be higher. This lady should not be doing photography for free when the underclass are having to work their tails off. This is
sorry.
not right.
The house that they got is mortgage free, but their house still has a mortgage. It has to pay for the mortgage and other household
How are they going to do that with only $15K a month?
Since she refuses to pay for it.
Why?
Citing it as a joint expense. We got into a fight, and I threatened to quit my job, too, if we were all quitting jobs now
Fuck
because
yeah,
the
dude.
work is hard. Her realization was that she buys takeout every day for us now, so my job was enough to pay for our mortgage. I asked that if she wants to upgrade
pretty boss move.
houses like she upgrades cars, I'm guessing the new house won't be in my name. Will I have to pay the maintenance, contribute to the mortgage payments? She said that I should have to because it would be living expenses and I would benefit just as much as her. Am I the asshole for being annoyed at her selfishness?
I believe it was the great Cyndi Lauper who once said that money changes everything.
Damn it! I was going to quote Cyndi Lauper also.
Both assholes. Like, what kind of relationship, what kind of marriage do you have where you can have that much money and not want your partner to enjoy it
Right?
with you? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
get divorced. You
Listen-
you don't love each other. Get divorced.
No.
My husband came
Not at
home
all.
and said he won the lottery and then did not share that money with me at all, and I'm still working
Oh, yeah.
on the side. I would be like, I'm leaving. I'm getting
Yeah.
a divorce. Like,
I'm like, listen, you go to work. We split the rent in half. I hang around getting massages and eating expensive Japanese lunches all day.
I do love that she was like,
I'm
I've
eating
been
omakase
picking
all
up the
day."
takeout, so you can get the mortgage. It kind of evens out. How much fucking wontons are they ordering?
I'm
it's
sorry, she
15
doesn't
grand a
leave you
month.
enough real leftovers. Like
Yeah, that's great. There's so much. This is going to be
Spring for
all
groceries,
these people are
just-
going to be
oh
in a
my
headline
fucking
in
God.
the New York Post one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
The
So that-
kids are going to be the only fucking.
These are the
yeah.
kind of people, like the people who were complaining. There was like a local neighborhood Facebook group where people were complaining back when they were first introducing that congestion fee for driving in Manhattan.
Okay.
which is bullshit.
Well, people were complaining, like who lived on like the Upper East Side because they like didn't want to have to pay for cabs when they needed to take their kids and their strollers somewhere. And it's like, okay, like as a subway rider, like I'm glad you're not going to bring a crying baby on the subway, but like if you can afford to live on the Upper East Side,
You're probably doing all right.
and
Yeah.
you're the person who carries the Louis Vuitton stroller on the fucking subway, you can
Right,
spring for a
right.
cab or pay the
Yeah.
congestion price. That's these people.
Oh, 100%.
It just
She doesn't even want to pay. Not only don't they want to pay the congestion fee, she doesn't even want to share 15 grand a month with her husband.
Yeah, they both
She's
seem
got-
like shitty people.
Okay,
And
can I just point something out because this is really quick. So the title of it says I'm threatening to quit my job because my wife just randomly quit her job. She didn't randomly quit. She got $252,000 now.
Yeah.
So, which I think is funny that he just thinks that she randomly quit.
The word random is totally
he's
not.
He's like, if I hit the lottery, I'd give my 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I'd finish out a good 8-hour pay period. I'm not an asshole.
So I don't think he's looking at things correctly at all.
Well, he opens the question, making himself look like a complete moron, and then he describes a story that just makes him completely, I think, in the right. Like, what kind of an asshole doesn't share that money?
It's pretty wild to me. Yeah, I hate to side with the person writing the question because A, it's Reddit and these people are animals.
Yep.
B, this, and I do point this out every podcast, this is a source by, for, and about them, so it's going to heavily skew in their favor. So I'm always looking for weird lacks of details. You know, like the last one where the lady didn't say where they'd slept together. You know what I mean? Like
important.
Weird stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, if you don't add it, it takes away from your case right now. And I have to think it's convenient. I'm not seeing any gaps in detail here. I think this guy, unless he's flat out lying about shit on his own Reddit post, I think he's telling the truth.
This guy
here, man.
has so much detail. He's basically studying to be a lawyer so he can divorce her and then get alimony from the children. That is what he is doing right now.
Maybe that's what he should do. He
That
should
would
be
be
like, listen,
smart.
I have an idea that I can pull my weight even better if I was a lawyer. And then he gets her to what? Pay for law school. And then he uses that degree to what? Divorce her and take half of her inheritance.
Because either way, he's going to get some sort of money if he divorces her just because they have 2 kids that are not...
Yeah.
The 2 kids is actually... he put it in here, but I skipped that one part. Is 13 and 9.
That's
so
right.
They have. He has a chunk of
He'll
time
get
that
some
is
of that
like,
money from her.
I need 30,000, a month because they need to, live with the silver spoon in their mouth.
Your Honor, it'd be one thing if I had gainful employment.
Unless
I don't
she somehow
because
gets full custody, which that seems like something that could happen. If he quits his job, I don't know.
that's true, and she's
that
got
could
the
be-
inheritance. She could get full
She's
custody.
got the inheritance. She didn't quit her job randomly. Versus him quitting his job as being an immature little brat.
I guess, what does he think the recourse is going to be? Like, I quit my job too now. Now you have to pay for everything. What is
now
that?
you have to do what you should want to do.
He's claiming squatters' rights in the house that he lives with his family.
You know what? I
Mortgage
totally would. If my husband
Yeah.
came home and won the lottery and did not share anything for me, I would totally be like, squatters' rights are real in New York City. Like
are.
I
Sure.
would, I would do that.
He could do this. He could quit his job and say, I'm not leaving. They call this the Tom Arnold defense. It works in a court of law. He can make it work. You've got this, sir.
Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. I just feel like
Can we just say that these two have not sent dick pics to each other in a very
No,
long
in a
time?
long
It's been
time.
ages.
No.
Yeah, there's more going on beneath the surface here.
Oh yeah. If he even asked for nudes from her, she'd be like, "How dare you? I am a wealthy woman. I don't do that."
I was gonna ask, what are you not doing, sir? That is disincentivizing her from loving you enough to share her money.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. No, that's a good point too. That's a good point
Actually,
too.
You know what?
Because he didn't leave out. Well, here's things I've been, or he didn't mention. Here's what I've been doing to make her feel better. I mean, maybe he could do a little more on his end to make her feel loved or whatever. But
Like, how many times a week are you making her come, dude?
yeah.
Like-
Just 0. Come on.
If it's 0, then she shouldn't share
married.
her fucking. That you just shouldn't be married. I mean, if there's a
Yeah.
good enough reason for her not to share the money, then you shouldn't be married.
That's
Either
true.
way.
But they already have kids that are,
They do have kids, but it only requires one of them come to come to have kids. You know what I mean? It's
What?
he's the only one that had to come. That's it. I don't think she
no.
came.
Oh,
I'll
I
grant
didn't-
you
I
that.
didn't- I
She
didn't-
did
wait.
not produce the sperm.
I think this lady has a
Crazy.
heart and a vagina of ice, and I don't think it's possible to do anything down there.
She could be spending a lot of that money on things to rectify that situation, and I hope she
That's right.
is. But at the same time, this marriage is just not.
I get the feeling that this guy's been counting the money in his father-in-law's bank account for the last 10 years. And this is like his meal ticket where he's like,
Yeah.
God, I've put in time and I'm already committed,
And I'll bet he was a real dick of a father-in-law too.
Probably.
You know?
Rich people usually are.
Yeah, the apple
They
doesn't
usually
No
fall
are.
far from the
offense,
tree.
all the billionaires
Yeah.
watching at home
Yeah.
right now.
We got huge billionaire following.
But
Jeff
I feel
Bezos
like,
loves this show.
I feel like, it's kind of seems like one of those situations where he got in there and was like, if I stick it out for the long
Yeah.
run, I got 15 years, dad's going to die, then Lord knows my wife's not going to quit her job and become a photographer.
Yeah, he had to know.
Yeah.
He had to known about like this money that she was going to be inheriting, and also like that he has at least his property that was going to go to someone. He had to have known about that before he died.
They do say if you marry for money, you earn it.
You do. And he's like, I have been banging young Corella DeVille of North Dakota for decades now. I gotta just wait for that old man to die. And let's face it, I'll bet he's got some not nice things to say about his son-in-law. He's like, he just drives around for $50,000 a year collecting money from my tenants. How dare he?
I feel like we're missing information on this one too. I feel like we're missing some critical information.
I think there's a lot of self-censorship in the part that people write in the questions.
Oh, you always have to realize it's one source.
I would
It's
have
one
to
source.
acknowledge that part of me.
We're essentially watching. This guy is Donald Trump, and we're listening to Fox News, or this guy is Joe Biden, and we're listening to CNN. Like that's what's going on. Like you're listening to their side of the story. You always have to take this with a grain of salt, for sure.
This has become a game of what are you not telling us?
Yes.
What is the orgasm situation here?
I think we have a new podcast.
They're not fucking. They're not fucking. There's no nudes. There's no dick pics. There's no labia pics. None of that. Nothing's going on here.
It's a partnership.
She would never send 9 nudes. She would never send 9. You'd be lucky to get 2.5 out of her.
I don't know. Maybe or maybe she'd be lucky to get 2.5 out of him. I mean, that's the other side of it. That's the other side of it, dude.
It's not nearly enough.
If he's not putting out, I don't blame her. Like that should be another conversation. But
True.
Yeah.
All right.
But I feel like that. Yeah, the love's long dead on that one.
Yeah, it's dead.
But
yeah.
There's a
should
lot
have
of
signed
money.
a prenup, or maybe you shouldn't have. I'm not sure how the law works.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, man. Like that's let's see. I'm hearing
Sounds like
weird buzzing.
It sounds like they did sign a prenup because like he knows that he can't get the money.
Right, otherwise he wouldn't be so.
Yeah, I feel like he's like none of it goes to me. It goes to my children and her, and it's like
And I
that's
hate them
very
almost
clear.
as much as I hate her.
yeah.
Right. It's like, dude, my children kind of look and act like her. I have shitty kids. I don't like them.
All right, I'm ready for the last question. What about you?
All right, let's do the last question on the Twisted Cupid podcast. If you guys have questions to
Oh
write
God,
in.
I hope it's a relationship that can be saved this time.
They never are. Dun, dun, dun.
They never are. No, yeah, this guy, he's got to just divorce her, take half the money, do something. She'll probably get the kids unless he plants drugs on her. You know, it's put bruises on the kid and be like, you hate your mom, right, kids?
That's
you
what
know,
it
if
is.
you lie to the
Maybe
judge and tell
she
her
doesn't have
put
any of the
bruises
money
there.
left to live in North Dakota. You probably need to be spending that much money on hard drugs to not be North Dakota.
It's
It all
sometimes.
happens in North Dakota.
Dude, some heroin is cut with fentanyl. This guy cuts his fentanyl with heroin. Like he stacks it heavy on the fentanyl side. This poor fella. Let's take our last question from the wild animals on Reddit.
Last question. My wife gave her number to a guy at a cultural event.
Wait, what is it? Sorry, what's a cultural event? I need more detail.
You know what? I'm
Cultural
going to tell you this.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
All I know is that it's a cultural event. That's all he ever gets into. But I was like, dude, and I kind of had the same thing. I was like, what is
Doesn't
this
get into
cultural
what the
event?
cultural event is. What the hell?
All right. So last night, my wife attended a cultural event.
Apparently,
with
they're
some
called
friends.
swinging parties. I've never heard of these.
Well, he wasn't invited. Last night, my wife attended a cultural event with some friend, and this morning, after I asked if anything happened that I should be aware of, she mentioned that a guy, a friend of her friend, had asked to kiss her towards the end of the night. She assured me that she declined his request. This revelation made me feel insecure, prompting me to ask her more of a series of questions. I appreciated her honesty in telling me that about this incident without any prompting, which clearly shows she was trying to not hide anything from me. However, my insecurities got the better of me, and I asked if she had added him to any social media platforms, to which she answered no. Later that day, I was on the couch with her and saw a notification on her phone from this man thanking her for giving him her number and expressing how much he enjoyed meeting her, even though she never responded, and I confronted her about this. I wanted to clarify that my confrontation was not out of the belief that she did anything wrong, but rather I felt that she should have mentioned she had given out her number when I asked about the social media. She explained that everyone exchanged numbers at the beginning of the event before she had made any advances, and she didn't think it was significant to mention.
In this culture, we kind of cheat, but not really. That's the event.
She didn't think it was significant to mention, especially since she had forgotten about it by the time I asked. She's now upset with me for what she perceives as a possessive behavior, as I am the asshole for feeling insecure about the situation and confronting my wife for not telling me she gave out her number, despite initially being upfront about another advance from the same guy. That's it.
Wow, dude, I think this guy's wife hates him more than the spoiled rich girl from the last question hates her wife, dude. This is crazy.
Why is this guy so insecure? Like, what kind of, what, like...
Well, I'm kind of confused with, like, it seems like she's involved with this entire group thing that he has no idea what's even going on.
Exactly.
Because she also said she went to this cultural event with some friend. And it's just like, oh yeah,
the
she
lack
does this.
of detail around the event is very.
I feel like
And
It's
that
very
some
concerning,
friend is
yeah.
like not a best friend, not a her friend is some friend. It's
yeah.
just like,
I-
was it a dude friend? Was it a
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like from this guy, culture event could mean like a yoga class
It could
or
mean
like
anything.
a Black Lives Matter rally. Like culture event sounds like you couldn't
It's
have just
called a
said they
hip-
went to a movie. They went to a like.
Well, I do
It's called a
think
hip hop concert. I don't know what this is.
I do
Right.
think it's
Part of the
weird.
culture.
I
don't
imagine
know.
some kind of art gallery opening that he was just not into, and she meets this dashing, like with some
Right.
painter with a French accent,
Right.
willing to swoop her away. You know, but this.
What's your number?
Oh, but
the-
just fucking communicate. Like, be like, hey, baby, I met this French guy who was super hot. Can we have a conversation? Why is this stuff
Because
so
you know that's the
hard?
rapport that they have. Like, hey,
This shouldn't
I know
be
you're
so
already
hard.
insecure about
It's
me
all-
talking to other men.
This is the same complaint I have about the ending of Casablanca. They could have just been like a Nazi fighting polycule.
Yeah. Sure.
If someone could have just had a simple, honest, open conversation.
Dude, yeah, if they had a better relationship, World War II didn't have to happen. That's what at the
Exactly.
end of Casablanca.
Right?
He coulda ended it.
kinda.
I like that you called it Casablanca.
Wait, what's it called?
Casablanca.
I've been calling it Blanca for years. I've been calling it that since the 30s when that movie was
Yeah.
made. See?
No, My
That
main
movie
thing-
that was just a big, giant, emotional MFM with Nazis in the background. Like, I don't fucking... But, like...
The one thing that I thought was funny too is not only does he not really talk about this culture event and what they do and some friend, but instead of like saying, "Hey, how was your night last night?" He goes, "Was there anything you need to tell me?" Like that was his question to her, or that I should know. It's like that's
Right.
kind of weird.
That's unhealthy
I
right
mean,
there. Yeah.
This
I'm
is
like,
your wife?
yeah, that's your wife.
yeah.
Like, I would just be like,
Yeah,
hey, how was your night? That's when I feel like you should be like, oh yeah, some guy tried to kiss me or something like that.
Sure.
Like, that's a healthy relationship,
But wait.
not like.
Or if you
is there
declined,
something
why
I
even
need to
mention
know?
it? Like,
I
if
agree, but
nothing
also-
happened...
Yeah.
Wait, so the second part of this is that she was messaging him on Instagram or something?
No.
Yeah, she got a
She
text
got a
from him.
notification.
No. Okay, so what
She
happened?
gave him her number.
This I got all the details right
But
now.
everyone
What
is
happened
giving out
was
their
she went to
numbers.
the cultural event.
Okay.
He said, "Was there anything I needed to know that happened last night?" She said, "Some guy tried to kiss me, but I said no." Then he kind of felt insecure and felt bad for asking, but he said his insecurity got the better of him. So then he asked her again later on, saying, "Well, did you add him to any of your social media?" And she said no. So they did not become social media friends. But then they're sitting on the couch together, and she gets a text message from him. And he knows that it's the guy. And he was like, well, why didn't you tell me that you gave him your number? And she said, well, because at the beginning of the night, everyone exchanged numbers, and I forgot that this happened.
How does that
Yeah,
work, though?
this-
That's
this
just
re-
a strange thing.
Yeah, I've never been to an event, a culture event, where it's like, okay, everyone share your social security
I
numbers.
think this lady's just a
Yeah.
bad liar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're 3 for 3 for relationships that are not going to
Yeah,
work tonight.
we're
Because,
3
like,
for 3.
first of
Yeah,
all,
just-
his level of insecurity makes me think that there's something that happened in the past, or because
Or right now.
This sounds
Something's
someone
happening
you're
right
like
now.
6 months in with, not someone that you're
Yeah,
married
like-
to.
Yeah.
Right.
Or his wife is a lot hotter than him, and he knows it, and it's just haunts his every waking moment.
I think it's all of
Or
those things.
he's not putting out either, and he knows it, or something.
that's true.
I-
it all comes
Yeah.
down to the lack of males just putting their dicks out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
They're
well,
always being coquettish.
that and communication, just honest
That's right.
conversations.
Dip it in some Crisco and just go to town, bud. What are you doing? You're not doing the right thing.
But seriously, what
That's
kind
right.
of foundation is missing from a marriage if you're even having that conversation? Like that's just ridiculous to me that you
Yeah.
would marry someone if you're in that
That's
sort
what
of.
I'm saying. I'm like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
was this an arranged marriage or something?
Could
That
be.
like,
There's-
Yeah, right. And in which case do you care that?
There's something
People.
weird going
Oh.
on because you wouldn't both tell your husband like, oh yes, it was a pretty good night. You know what I mean? Food was pretty good. Some guy tried to kiss me, and then you get a text from that same guy. It's like, what do you like? You just wouldn't tell him that some guy tried to kiss you, and then when you got a text, you'd be like, oh, I don't know, probably wrong number. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
Like
you know
she's
what?
not lying
Like,
like a normal
and
straight
how
up
did,
lie.
how
Yeah,
did,
so-
how did
Yeah.
he know that was the guy? You know, if it
Right,
came
that's
up-
what I'm saying.
Even if you wrote the name in, like, did she write, "Oh, Frank, the guy who tried to kiss me last night"?
Yeah, was it
Right.
big parentheses under this guy's name? Like this is
I
insane.
mean, if it was like Frank Smith, then you'd be like, "No, that's another guy from
She
the
would have
event."
had the cop to where, yeah, that's the guy who tried to kiss me, and it's like, well, why didn't you, A, either not tell me he tried to kiss you, or B, just lie about who
Yeah.
texted you just now?
You know
like
what?
it'd be very
Yeah.
easy to lie about either of those
So,
things.
I watch a lot of conspiracy theory videos,
Nice.
not to just establish
brag.
all my credentials right now, but a lot of.
I think it's a false flag operation. Dude.
No. I think it's sometimes when there's a kernel of truth, you put out a little bit of information, but then there's
Yeah.
like her being like, "Hey, just to let you know, this happened last night." I feel like that's her way of being like, false flag. All right, we never actually landed on the moon. No, I'm kidding. That's not where she went with it. But
I would agree with you if he had a reason to be suspicious, because like people will do that when they're
Yeah.
caught. They're like, I'm caught. I'm gonna. Oh no,
But-
we didn't.
but her
we didn't.
giving him-
Fuck, we just made out
You're
a bit.
right,
You
you're
know what
right.
I mean?
But
Like
the
like
fact
they'll
that she
cup to a
said-
colonel when they get caught. She just came right out with
why
it though.
did she? But she didn't say that I got his phone number.
She didn't say that, that's what's not lining up to me. Is she came right out with some guy tried to kiss me, and then
But here's
she
the
gets a
thing.
text from
Here's
that same
the
guy.
thing. If you
Joel
were-
just said, "Did everyone exchange numbers before or after they put their keys in the bowl?"
Yeah, we're missing a lot of
Yeah.
information here.
The fact that he does not say with the cultural event, oh, you know, a cultural event, like people do.
Right.
And it's like, no, that
Very
could be literally
serious
anything.
word.
Why was he not at this cultural? Just the way that he phrases it makes
That's
it
what
makes
I
it seem
think
like
is
he's
weird.
like coming from a place of exclusion, but also maybe self-imposed. Like,
Yes.
oh, my wife's going to do that culture thing that she's always into.
Yeah.
Hopefully, she doesn't meet some
Yeah.
cultured man who's going to steal her away from me. When she gets home, I better interrogate her. Is there anything that I need to know? That's such a weird
Ugh.
way.
I kissed her and
Yeah,
she tastes like some dude's
Imagine if your
culture.
partner said that to you.
Right.
Hey, how's it going? How was your date? Is there anything I need to know?
Yeah. Like,
Some super-
I'd be
she's definitely
pissed.
cheated on him before. I think that's kind of going on.
So, I think what we should do for this one is just give what do you got? Just final advice, but like just go right down the line, and then everyone just gives their final advice, and that's it.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Let's do
So
it.
my final advice is you guys don't know each other. She's definitely cheating on you, and I feel like he's just taking it. He's just taking it and taking it and taking it, and yeah, that's it. There's no hope for this relationship.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. This is pretty
This
rough.
is a rough
Yeah,
one.
yeah, dude.
This is-
Examine why your relationship
honestly, I
lacks
feel
trust.
like it was. I kind of got sad after reading it. I was like, oh,
It's-
like
it's
why are
rough.
you dealing with all this?
Yeah, my final advice is it seems like this guy has been sort of had some of this stuff going on to him a little bit more at a time, to where he's like, now I'm just accepting whatever's happening here. That's why he's just
Yeah.
calling it a cultural event. That's why the comment about we all switched numbers at the beginning. Well, where the hell do you do that? I've never heard of that. This is like it's some weird life that he's not a part of, that she's into, but it's probably a thing that she's been doing since before they ever got together. So he's either got to have a serious conversation with her about the whatever this cultural event is, or B, get yourself a Hawaiian shirt or whatever they wear in that culture, and you sneak yourself into the event.
Join
you go
them.
in disguise.
He goes in blackface.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
You get the shoe polish. You get the whole
Sorry.
thing.
I can't even reference it. Sarah Silverman did it.
Yeah.
Look where she
Oh my
is.
gosh,
Rock some
there's
pineapples
too
and
many
join 'em,
white
dude.
people on this podcast.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't.
you're right.
It's not blackface if you don't get caught. All right, you have to get really good blackface.
Justin Trudeau said that, right?
Yeah.
That was his yearbook quote. His
It
final
sounded
yearbook
better in
quote.
French, dude, for sure.
I know I gave my final advice, but I forgot to put this little thing. He keeps saying through the entire question, what was it? My confidence, something got the better of me. My insecurities got the better of me. My insecurities got the better of me. I was like, I feel like this is a thing that she keeps saying. You need to stop being so insecure. You need to stop being so insecure. Like, this is like something that's played over and over and over in his head that he's just like, yes,
Agreed.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because, I mean, if
Yeah.
this happened to me, I'd be like, insecure my ass. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Joel on YouTube says she came home from the cultural event looking like a glazed donut.
Shit.
Matt on YouTube says, this is a letter from Nam. Joel on YouTube says, at Twisted Cupid Podcast, Naomi Judd's suicide letter was happier than this question.
Oh,
It
man.
was pretty funny. Suicide notes.
Yeah.
If you read it, I don't know.
Oh, man.
It's like,
She
who
died
wrote
at
this fucking
a
Louis
cultural
CK?
event.
Yeah.
Died doing what she loved.
Danny, what's your final advice?
Oh God! Everybody, just fucking talk to each other and don't marry people if you feel like you have to go through their fucking. Don't fucking marry people if you don't trust them. My
Exactly.
fucking God! Why isn't this intuitive? People of Reddit, marry people you trust.
Oh,
this is me. I have some anger issues. Okay, seriously, don't fucking marry people if you don't have a relationship foundation where you don't have to stalk their fucking phones. You absolute moron! And like, just fuck each other. Just like. Fuck each other and communicate and be fucking adults. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Honestly,
Communication. It's all about fucking communication. I've been married for
Yes.
10 years. Communication.
oh, wow.
Love it.
Yeah, I agree because the other person in these questions every time were being so shitty that I'm like,
Yes.
to the person writing the question, I'm like, hey, there's no way they started with this. They
Yeah.
weren't a perfect spouse yesterday, and then this happened.
Yeah.
Like, this is a long
Yep.
a series of events that has brought you here.
We're missing some information.
Yes, yes.
My take is that if you're at the point where you're asking strangers on Reddit if you can trust your wife, the relationship is
Yeah.
already structurally damaged
Yeah.
to the point of implosion.
That's
But
a
in the
damn good
meantime, stop being so insecure. Maybe your wife would want to not fuck. Actually, it's not all about sex, but just if you're being insecure, it's gonna feed into it. But
Yeah.
But mostly, like, it's already a lost cause. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough, man.
There's probably a different subreddit you can click over
It's
to.
pretty
Some
rough.
cute dogs sort of
Yeah.
cheer you up right
Yeah.
now. Open up some other tabs right now.
Great sex toy app out there. Yeah.
I think we answered all those. This has been a great podcast. Thank you so much to both of our guests, man. Thank you to Micah Walsh. Thank you to Dani Riedel.
yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
most
having
of
us.
all
Yeah,
to
thanks,
our
guys. This was
listeners,
fun.
man. Thank you guys for being here. This was a great episode.
Yeah.
This was awesome. And thank you most of all, not just to the listeners, but the listeners on YouTube in the chat, man. Thank you to Joel on YouTube. Thank you to Matt. Thank you to Joanne.
Go
Until
Rangers.
next time. Yes, go Rangers. Until next week, we're live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Later.